This monitor is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The Samsung ViewFinity S80UD, and it is massive. Let's go. Now, obviously you've seen big monitors before. We all have. But when Samsung build a monitor, especially one that is part of its ViewFinity range, they put a little bit of a spin on it. The spin on this one is that it's a 4K monitor and 37 inches in size. I've used a lot of Samsung monitors this year. I've currently got the ViewFinity S9. I've used the Smart Monitor M9, but nothing comes close to using something like this. The box that it arrived in was huge. I struggled to find a desk or a space big enough to be able to unbox it properly. I do think whilst unboxings have kind of been overdone, they still are an important part of a review of a product because it's kind of giving you a bit of an understanding of what you're getting before you purchase it. And with the ViewFinity S80UD, you get everything you need in the box. You've got the stand, which some monitors don't come with the right stand, which is also an adjustable stand as well. You get the base, you got the cables, it all comes in there. Now, this isn't a smart monitor, so there is no remote. All of the controls for the monitor actually live in a button behind at the center. So you have to reach up and sort of press that button and jiggle it around to find the menu or the setting that you need to change. But because there's no smarts, that's the only controls that you really need for it. Brings it more in line with like a traditional monitor. And because that's kind of what this is. It's like a professional productivity monitor that doesn't really need all of that extra smart stuff. The setup process was actually quite simple in terms of the base and the stand. There was a click there and a clack there, and it was ready to go. The monitor was on, the stand was set up, it was sitting on my desk, my small desk, I should say, ready to go. It's got all the ports that you would need. It's got HDMI at the back. It's got USB-C and Thunderbolt, so you can connect your laptops and your phones and stuff to it. And it's also got things like USB and Ethernet across the back along the side as well. Now, once this is set up on your desk, once you have it placed in position with everything set up, this thing is gargantuan. 37 inches, it cuts an imposing figure on any desk, let alone the tiny one that I've got currently set up. But what I really liked about it was the form factor, not necessarily the size, but just the design and the aesthetics of it. So much so that I actually have got one coming for my studio to be part of my deck station. But the 37 inches just gives it that ultra feel. Kind of reminds me of Samsung's ultra line of phones and tablets, especially the Tab S11 Ultra, which I've sort of just been doing comparisons with. It just is massive in that sense. Cutting back to the aesthetics and the design, I actually really appreciate the sleek nature of something this size, especially in the black one that I've got. It's got the squarish cutout sort of frame. It's got the ribbed back, which you don't really see the back of a monitor, but when you're looking at it, it's nice. It's a really nice, sophisticated figure. And when you're doing work and you want to just appreciate what you're doing, having a monitor like that isn't too stylistically over the top, but cuts that physical imposing figure is really nice. It was hard to work with it on the desk that I have. In my new studio that I'm upgrading to soon, I'm going to have the appropriate size desk for it, but fortunately this was a review unit. It went back to Samsung. Like I said, the 27 inch is going to be mine soon. But the thing I really like about using it, especially for the work that I do, is the 37 inch nature of it. That 4K 37 inch display just gives you room to move with the resolution to match it. Editing videos, it feels like you're part of the video as you're editing it because you've just got all this screen real estate to sort of move across, whether it be editing videos or whether it be doing things like thumbnails. You've got the space there to really take advantage and get the finer details out. It's funny though, when you're actually looking at the monitor and you're panning back and forth into the different corners, you kind of feel like you're watching a tennis match because you're jumping from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, and you've kind of got to go to the corners of where things are happening. There's probably a faction of people out there that might argue that 4K isn't enough for creative work, but I don't understand how that can be the case, especially when you consider that we all seem very happy with 4K on 85-inch TVs. Why shouldn't we be happy with 4K on 37-inch monitors? I don't understand. But probably the thing that ties it all together, and it's been a bit of a common thread with Samsung's monitors throughout 2025, is the anti-glare and anti-reflective nature of the display. It just absorbs light into it, and no matter what sort of work you're doing on it, you don't have to be worried about looking at what's looking back at you, if that makes sense. Especially light in the bright, airy rooms that I edit in, you don't want to have that distract you. And you definitely don't want to have your own reflection distracting you too. I see enough of myself when I'm editing, I'd rather not see it again as I'm editing again. if that makes sense. It's just wild though, the sheer size of it. And it was something I just couldn't get past as I was using it. You do appreciate it. Again, for the work that I do, having that size monitor just gives you that freedom to really move around the display and get things on there. For my desk though, it was just that little bit too big. I have got a Samsung Smart Monitor M9 that is currently sitting in a box waiting for my new studio. Very excited, and I think at 32 inches, that's probably going to be the perfect size for the work that I do. And being a smart monitor as well, I like that that will actually give me that extra bit of functionality out of it, because I'm going to have a lounge in there. It's going to be like the perfect content media machine that I want it to be. Not that you can't enjoy content on this. It actually makes it look really nice. The crisp resolution and the big size adds that extra dimension to it. But it doesn't have that smart stuff built in, so you can't actually go and make it purposely designed for that. And I guess that's kind of my overall takeaway. Because as a monitor goes, it's got everything you would need. It's got the ports, it's got the size, it's got the resolution, it's got the design, it's got the stand that's adjustable. All of that is great. The thing that it doesn't have, all the smarts and the extra bells and whistles that is starting to come with Samsung's monitor range. But if you don't need that, then that actually makes this a really powerful monitor for your desk, especially because we have a lot of things that have smarts carrying around with us every day, whether it be your laptop, whether it be your phone, they're all connected. So you can just plug that in and effectively turn the monitor into something like that. And that's kind of why I got it in terms of the smaller version for my desk in my studio, because I have the smarts and it's going to be my DeX monitor. So my DeX station will be permanently fixated with one of these displays. There's going to be a lot of content around DeX in that new studio, so make sure you hit subscribe for that. Samsung did send me the ViewFinity S80UD for this review. They have not seen it though, so I was able to send it back. They're just going to see this the first time that, as you will, fix that. They're going to see this review at the same time you will. So if it does seem biased, it's got nothing to do with Samsung. It's just that I enjoy Samsung products. Anyways, see you guys in the next one. You!